Hello, hello. We're about to get started. We're almost cut myself. Hi, Susan. I am opening my Distress Mica Sprays because I am about to use it. Hi, Michelle. We are going to use some mica sprays tonight. We're going to do lots of different stuff tonight. Are you guys excited? It's going to be so much fun. So hopefully you got your Voodoo Dolls in the shop. They are currently sold out. They went super fast, so thanks to everyone for that. Hi, Mom. Hi, Adele. Hi, Kyrie. I hope I said your name right. Yeah, so they're already on reorder. They should be coming soon. So if you haven't gotten yours, you can watch tonight and see how stinking adorable they are and how much you might want to check them out. Yay! Yay, Adele, you got yours. Awesome. So we did the clown last week, one of the clowns last week, and this one. And this week, we are going to work on this Voodoo Doll. So, I have a few things here. So, I have this. I don't know if you guys remember, those who watch the lives all the time probably remember this. But I got these recollections at Michael's a long time ago. There were 6 of them in there. I'm still trying to use them all because I'm not a big tag maker. But it is a shaker tag, and I thought, well, this might be perfect to make for a gift for Halloween, like a trick-or-treat for the, you know, sweet little grandbaby or something. So I decided I didn't want to leave it brown. So what I want to do is spray mica sprays on the outside of it, and we're going to do that first so it'll dry while we work on our Voodoo Doll. So I'm going to use this one, this Voodoo Doll from this set. We're going to color them with Copics, and then I'm going to use this Trick or Treat on the outside. So we are going to have to die cut them as well, but now we package our stamps with our dies. So I don't know if you can see them behind there, but we no longer do them separate. So we're working on transitioning our dies in with our stamp sets. We will still sell stamp sets individually. We just won't sell the dies individually. It'll either be stamp set or bundle. So keep that in mind. Hi, Debbie. So I've already pulled out the little Voodoo Doll and the Trick or Treat that we're going to use. But we're going to stamp that after we spray the cover of this. So I'm also going to use this sequence called Spooky Stars. That's what we're going to put inside. So I've already chosen my Copic colors to kind of match up with that. So we'll be using those. And don't worry, I'll give you the numbers again when we get close to it. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Tammy. So I have this box. It's the Splat box from Tim Holtz for sprays, paint, and more. So I can do this right here on my desk so you can see what I'm doing. It's a little bit messy and it's already like crazy dirty, but it's okay because we can just keep using it. So I want us to be able to see the back panel, and I want us to be able to, this one in the middle, you won't see the one in the middle. So you won't see that one at all when it's all closed up and secured together. So we're not going to paint that one because it's not necessary, but we are going to paint the front panel and the back panel, both sides. So I have these mica sprays, and hi, Deborah, and luckily they're Harvest Moon and Fortune Teller, so they're kind of the Halloween anyway, so I thought they would be super cool to go ahead and use. So I got to shake them up a little bit because if you have some and you can see the mica in the bottom, then you need to shake it up. Honey, will you help me with this? Thanks. I'll work on this one. So we have to shake them up before we can spray them. So once it's all the mica is in the spray, you can use it. So this one is good, and this one is now good. So you no longer see that shiny in the bottom. Hi, Sandra. So I'm going to go ahead and spray this because I want to give it time to dry while we're working on the rest of it. So I have yellow and purple. I kind of want it to be pretty covered. So there we go. Some interesting, amazing, cool looking stuff. I probably should have done the back first, so when I flipped it over it didn't really matter, but what's done is done.
Lean it up against the back wall.
You think I should?
Yeah, then you won't mess up what you did.
Okay. Dale says lean it against the back wall and we should be fine. It is a little bit on the messy side, but hey, it's fine. So now they're right here, and what we're going to do is we're just going to spray it again. And how much comes out depends on how hard you squirt and how far away you hold it. So just do whatever strikes your fancy. So now I'm just going to let these run. They're going to run a little bit because I got a little bit of extra on them, but I think that'll give it a cool effect. So what we're going to do is we're just going to let these dry. You didn't know the mica thing? Yeah, they're called Distress Mica Stain. This one is Fortune Teller. This is a Halloween set. There's also like Graveyard and some Blood something, and this one's Harvest Moon. And that's all you have to do. They're pretty easy to use. You just spray them, and then when they dry, they're super cool. So I'm just going to set this aside so it can dry. Or maybe Dale will be nice and dry it for us. You never know. And then we're going to work on our images. So I have the Voodoo Doll and the Trick or Treat ready. And nice that you joined us, Sandra, because I'm going to use your ink for the Trick or Treat. So I have a marigold orange, not pink. And I also have a purple, but I think I'm going to go with the marigold. I also have the black, the Onyx Black dye ink. So we're going to actually use that to stamp our image, and then we're going to color. So I have never, hi Medina, I have never actually colored with the Sassy Club black ink. So we're gonna play with that tonight. So anyway, if you guys don't know, Sandra, who's with us, is the owner of the Sassy Club. Hi, Mary. So we're going to test out some of her stuff today. So I want this orange to be on my Trick or Treat. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that. And then I want the black ink to be on my Voodoo Doll. So I want to make sure I get it on there real good. I haven't physically stamped with these yet. So, you know, sometimes when they're brand new. I did try to prep them before we started. And I'm going to use my espresso that we have in the shop as well. And I'm just going to get my even pressure. And then we're going to lift and see if we need to stamp again or if we are good to go. Yep, we're going to have to stamp again. And that's okay. You love Halloween and the colors? I do too. Well, of course, because Halloween has purple in it, you know I love it. So, because I love purple, all purple. All purple. I love all purple. So, I got a little bit on the thing, but we can clean that later, so I'm not really worried about that. I don't have to press real hard, but I do just kind of go over it a couple of times just to make sure that I get good even pressure. And now we have our cute little Voodoo Doll. And So yes, it's going to be super fun. Anything that I want to be darker, I can use a multi-liner on it after I color it. If I want to emphasize a little bit more dark, I can do that as well. I'm going to just clean off the ink so that it doesn't, you know, stain up the stamps too much. But I'm not going to put them away or anything. I don't want you to have to sit there and watch me put them all away. Let me spray some more water on my little cleaning pad here. Not too bad. Not too squeaky. Just a little squeaky. So, Trick or Treat is in orange and he is in black. So I'm excited about this. Hi, Debbie. So I know a bunch of you have these Voodoo Dolls. So even though they're temporarily sold out in the shop, I wanted to go ahead and do it live with them anyway because so many of you have them that I figured you might want to see how I color them. So I'm going to zoom in, and Dale dried our thingies for us. They look super cool. We can pick whichever side we want to be the front and the back. The same with this one. That's pretty neat. I love that. So I'm excited about that. Okay, I'm going to zoom in. Hi, Patty, so you can see the coloring because I want you to be able to see it, you know, pretty up close. So the decorative parts like patches and openings and the eyes and all that kind of stuff we're going to do with these 3 color combos. So we're going to use YR18, YR16, and YR15, so we'll have some orange. We're going to use Y19, 15, and 13, so we'll have just a little bit of yellow. And then V09, 17, and 06, so we'll have a bit of purple. And then our actual Voodoo Doll will be the T family. So T10, 8, 7, 6, and 5. Hi, Carrie. So that's what we're going to do. And when I'm using black, I like to use the black last so that I don't drag any of the black into the other colors. So we're going to start with the colorful colors first. If colorful colors, you guys know what I mean. Okay, so I think I'm going to give him 1 purple eye and 1 orange eye. Just because I love the purple and the orange. So I think we're going to start, let's start with the purple one. We're going to start with V09 and we're going to color this eye right here. Now, the artist put in some lines for you so you can see where the darkest...
Are you the artist?
Yes, I am. Where the darkest shadow area should be, which should help you a little bit in putting some of that shadow in there. And then I'm also going to go just very lightly around the inside as well. And yes, I am the artist. Dale goes, aren't you the artist? Because you just said the artist. I am. But, so Sandy drawn lines, as Jamie says. V17 is next. So I hope you guys like these sweet little Voodoo Dolls. They were super fun to draw. I really enjoyed drawing them, so I was glad everybody liked them. And I hope you like the clowns. They're super fun too. I'm going to go along the inside of this. I like to put the darkest part around the outside because it kind of makes it look like it has depth. He looks like he has a black eye a little bit. I think I'm okay with that, but I'm also going to put this color kind of around the outside and the bottom. And then we're going to use the V06. And we may have to pull in V12 for the highlight. I didn't have that color out, but I think we are going to pull in V12. So V06 is next. Hi, Nadia. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining me, everyone. It's so fun when I have a lot of people on the live. Especially when they talk to me and ask questions and all that good stuff. So it does kind of look like he has a black eye. It's all okay. So I'm going to do just a little bit of blending that up, but I really want to keep that, the top of that highlighted. So I'm going to pull out that V12 that I mentioned, and I'm going to put some highlight up here on his eye, just to make that stand out. I also want to do that with the center part, but I need that V06. I didn't put any of that V06 on the inside, and I want to put a little bit in there, just a little bit. And then we'll use that V12 again. I wasn't sure if the V06 would be bright enough, so I didn't bring out the V12 to start with, but we can always add. We have all the Copics we want at our disposal. Now, because I want to show a lot of depth in this eye, I'm going to go back in one more time with this V09, and I'm just going to put in some very dark coloring around this side where the sandy drawn lines were, just to make that have some serious depth. I want that eye to look like it's gonna pop. So because we went in with the darkest shade, of course that we have to soften that line. So we're gonna walk backwards again with the V17 very lightly, because we want to leave that dark in there. And then I'm gonna skip V06, and I'm going to go to V12 to blend this out just a little bit. And that'll keep the highlight, but it'll also keep that depth, which is exactly what I wanted. So see how that looks like the buttons on there a little crooked? It looks really good. I like it. So we're also going to do now with our orange, so I'm going to move my yellow for now, so I can put my orange up front and close to me. And I'm going to do the other eye with the orange, and maybe a patch or two with the orange as well. I'll probably make some of the inside guts look like purple. So I want to start with the YR18 in this bottom part of the button, because it would all be in shadow. And then I also want to do some depth here and some here, just so it looks like that's lifted up a little bit. I'm also going to put just a little bit around his eye and under here. And this is fun. You can do these in any color you want. So YR16 is next. That's, we're going to blend out from this one. It's going to be quite a bit brighter, which I'm super cool with. We only have 3 colors, so we're going to be using a lot of this one. It would be our true color. And then we're going to come in with our YR18. Hi, Maggie. We're not going to do like the thread. I'm going to do the thread black, since that's going to be the color of the guy's body, the little voodoo doll's body. So I'm going to make the thread in his eye that same color. I don't want to make it the same color as the button. So I'm going to go back one more time with YR18 and deepen up this underside, because if you let your Copic marker colors dry and you put a second layer, it makes it darker. So it's kind of like having another shade of that color. So all I'm doing is adding in a little bit more depth on these. Now I have to choose. I have a patch here, I have a patch here, and a patch here, and one here. And then I have these openings that look like a little bit like the inside. And I kind of want to make the insides yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and use my YR18 for this patch down here. There is orange in the sequins pack that I chose, so I definitely want to make sure I have enough orange on here that it stands out. I think I might do this one up here on his head as well. So I'm just doing this random. This is the first time I've colored this particular voodoo doll. I colored all the other ones, but I haven't done this one. Hi Maggie, hi Pam. But this is what I envisioned in my head when I was drawing it, doing it, coloring it like this. So we're rolling with that. Okay, last one is YR15. And I don't want to put too much of that because I want to keep that highlight. So I'm just barely touching the paper with that color. So I want to keep it real light. So a little bit hard to see on camera, but if I hold it up, you can kind of see how it's much lighter. The camera is a little difficult to see. Now, I also need a, I need to do that patch purple because we got to have a little bit more purple because you guys know I love purple. So V09, I'm going to do this patch right here on his shoulder. And then I'm going to use V17. How have you guys been? I sure have missed you guys. I always miss doing my lives. I'm super glad to be home though. V06. And this is under his head, so I won't be using the V12. I'm just going to be using the deeper color. Like that. Okay, so for now, I'm going to take my orange off and I'm going to add my yellow. So my yellow, remember, was Y19, Y15, and Y13. And I want to do the inside, his insides with the yellow. So I'm going to start up here. Kind of like you can see his stuffings. I'm going to come along here and do a little bit in the middle, a little bit at the top. And then I'm going to work on this one as well. I'm going to switch to Y15. This is more like the true color, and I'm hoping when we get the black, when we start doing the black color, that this yellow will stand out. That's my intent anyway. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Y13 is next. And I hope they're not hiding comments from me. On my last live, everybody was talking to me and I couldn't see any of the comments. So frustrating. I thought nobody was talking to me. Okay, so he doesn't have a whole lot of yellow on him, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. I just wanted it to have a hint of yellow since we used yellow in the mica spray earlier. Okay, so now we're going to work on the yellow is popping a bit. I'm hoping it will, especially against the black that we're going to do. So we're using the toner gray. And I'm going to start with T10. And it's going to be pretty dark. So I want to get some of the shadow areas and some of the standout areas. And you know, I might could do his, well, I was going to say I might could do his hands a different color, but I'll just do them significantly lighter. Although I did just see a spot that I missed with the yellow. So I'm going to back up just a little bit, go back to the yellow. I'm going to use the Y19 again, and I am going to use it right here where his stuffings are sticking out again. Y15. And then Y13. I was hoping the yellow would pop out. I'm super excited. Okay, sorry about that little short snippet. Back to the T10. So some of these areas where I gave him stitches, I want those stitches to be really dark. So I'm going to go over the line and a little bit under the line just to make it thicker, a little more obvious, so it stands out just a little bit more. I'm going to go along his stitches. Now, you don't always have to do this, but sometimes when you use black ink, it just doesn't give you as dark a black as you would like to have. So sometimes I'll use the marker to fill that in. Now, I don't want to do that with his mouth, but I am going to use this darkest shade on this thread here because I want it to really stand out. I'm going to put it along this lower side here because this thread is above the other one. And then I think I'm just going to keep going. He's not that big, so I think I'm going to keep doing his, so his hands here where his stitches are, and then deepen up his stitches. And then over here on this side where he's stitched a little differently, he's stitched in a V. He has lots of stitches. Right here, because I'm making that stitches a little bit darker, a little bit thicker, I'm coloring the stitch as well. Now these ones that go across his body, I'll do them afterwards. But right now I want to get some real depth in here for these connecting ones. Also, this is my darkest shade, so where my darkest shadows are, like underneath his body, because he's sitting down, I want to get some dark depth in there as well. So he's starting to look pretty cool. I'm happy so far. We'll see how it goes. Again, like I said, I haven't colored this one yet, so I'm in the dark just like you guys are. I have no idea what it's going to look like when I'm done. Usually for new release, I tend to color all the images first, but we had our shows so close back to back that I just did not have time to do them all. So this was one of them I didn't get to color. So I'm going to put some dark down here on his little foot, at the bottom of his body, because we still want some depth where he's sitting. Hi Mary Kay. I'm going to do this side as well, and I am accenting these little artist drawn lines here to show scuff marks and such. I am using those as well. Now this one, I'm going to put dark around the top and the bottom. So I want that to really emphasize that it's torn open and then repaired. We're going to do a little bit on this foot right here. There we go. He's so cute. I just love him so much. All right, we're going to put a little bit here around where his patch is. I want to do a little bit along the bottom of his face because
Michelle's pointing out the Sandy drawing lines.
the artist drawing lines. Yes, that would be me, Michelle. You're right. But sometimes, I don't know, it feels weird to say my drawn lines or Sandy drawn lines. It just feels weird to me to say that. But yes, I did draw him. He's so cute. I can't help it. I love him. He was the first of the Voodoo Doll. No, he was the last one that I drew in the collection. So first, I drew the guy with the little skull face, and then I drew the rabbit, and then I drew that one. So, all right. So now I'm on T8, and there are actually 5 in this combination. So I'm going to use this one, but I won't use it as much as I will use the next color. So I'm just extending out from where I put the last color. I don't want to do too much under here. I don't want to make it too dark so you can't see his mouth. But I also don't want to go up too far on his head because I need some highlight up there. And I think this color is too dark to extend out from where the stitches are, because I think it'll just, you'll lose the stitches. So we're just going to do the areas that we need a little bit more color to, and then we'll move on to the next one. Giving credit where credit is due. I take it you like your little voodoo dolls. I'm going to go along this seam because we want that yellow to really stand out. And I'm going to do it on both sides. That's kind of a preference thing. I just really want that to stand out. I'm also going to do it along the neckline. Again, so that that yellow can really stand out. Go around the patch, still under his head, and over here is the same thing. Also, I'm emphasizing his little folds around his body and hands just so they stay visible, since this is black. It's tonal black, so it's not going to be real dark black. And then I think we're going to do a little bit here in the eye on the bottom one. Thank you, Michelle. Now we're in the third color, T7, which is going to be a bit lighter. So this is the true color. We're going to use it a little bit more. So we're going to extend out from where we put the last colors. I'm also going to do any additional outlining that I need to have done around the outside of the body to show the round with this particular color. So we're going to start filling in quite a bit with this. As you can tell, this color is much lighter. I'm going to go along this line right here, so we can kind of show a little shadow underneath that stitch mark. I'm going to go along his bottom of his chin. Just kind of fill that in a little bit. Now we need to give a little bit more depth to his eyes, so we're going to go around his eyes with this color. If we need more, we can go back with the darker shade of black later, but I want to really deepen those eyes. So I'm going to do it on both. I'm just going around the outside of the eyes. He's going to look really funny right now. I'm going to finish that bottom stitch. I'm just going to put a little bit in the top. And now we're going to go start working on his body. But he looks really funny right now. But be patient. We'll get there. Hi, Mary. So again, underneath the stitch marks, around the outside, extending from where we put the darkest shade. I'm not going to do the center part with this color. I want to do here. Yes. Hi. And there are, I see that a few people just popped in. That is very nice. So now you can see why I darkened those stitches in the beginning so I could really see them once I started putting this black in there. And we may darken them again at the end. Just because we really want to see those stitches. That makes it so fun. I also think I may come back in and I think I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to go in and darken, deepen this tear. So this is my N10 because I just want to make sure that stays dark. I mean my T10. I want to make sure that stays dark when I go around it with this lighter color. It's going to make that yellow pop out. I think it's going to work just perfectly. Now as we get into the lighter colors of the blacks, it's really going to start coming together. So 6 is next, T6 is next. So never give up when you're coloring something like this. If it's not, you know, like right now it's a little dark, it's a little, but don't give up because it'll be amazing when it's done. Just don't give up. Keep going. Never give up. Never surrender. Keep going. Don't judge based off of what it looks like in the middle of the process. Because it'll look way different when you're done. Especially when you're using really dark to light colors like this, because these particular colors, the more alcohol that's in them, the lighter they get, and they start kind of bleaching out a little bit of the darkest shade. So that's why sometimes you have to go back in. So that's why I started off with really, really dark, because I know that I'm going to get significantly lighter, and I will add more if I need to. But look at how much lighter they're getting, and the more we do, the lighter they're going to get. Now is where I'm going to go down the center of his little seam on his body. Notice I'm working a little bit faster. I don't want to leave that marker on the paper very long. I don't want to bleach out too much of my color. So I'm coloring just a little bit faster than I was before. Start getting that color in there. You gotta do this little hand right here. Now you could have done the hand like it was a patch and made it a different color, kind of like the packaging looks, if you wanted to. But I like to color different than the packaging so you get a different view of how things could look. So I try not to do exactly like the packaging, even if that is the way I would normally color it, because I need to give you guys variety. I feel like that's important. He's coming together, and I like how these colors that have, as you go down, have a lot more of the alcohol in them and a lot less of the pigment, because it starts giving texture to your image when you start using that lighter color. So we're going to do a bunch of back and forth, and that's because we want to keep those areas real light. It'll look dark now, but you'll see the texture as it dries. He kind of looks like a slee stack. Do you guys remember those? Man, what was that show called?
Land of the Lost.
Yeah, I know Land of the Lost, but what was that on? There was like a... It was like a Saturday morning, special something. I didn't notice that when I was drawing it, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, his mouth, he looks like a slee stack. I'm just saying. Just saying. Some of you won't know what that is. Probably showing my age. But others will. You'll know what that is. I can't remember what they called that in the morning. Does anybody?
Croft Hour.
Yes, it was. That's right. I can't remember exactly what it was called. This is the last color in my combination, so this is where I'm going to start filling in, and I'm going to do a lot of that, like back and forth and some extra coating, just because I want to lighten up some of those areas.
I think Michelle misunderstood.
Slee stack. Slee stack. You don't know what they were... It was on Land of the Lost, and they were the big green walking around people looking alien things that the people who were lost in the Land of the Lost were, I think they were afraid of them. Weren't they afraid of them? I mean, of course there were dinosaurs and all that good stuff, but they were called slee stacks. Dinosaurs or something. You didn't watch it that much? Yeah, it was like the something Croft Superstars something maybe.
Yeah, I think that was kind of it, because they had the superhero girls.
Electra Woman and Dinah Girl or something. Man, this feels like a blast from the past for sure. I used to watch it all the time. I liked Electra Woman and Dinah Girl as well. And you know, anything with dinosaurs makes me super happy.
Yeah, the Croft Superstar Hour.
Croft Superstar Hour, that's what it was called. And they had Land of the Lost and Electra Woman and Dinah Girl and
It had something with like Muppet type things.
something else, but that clearly wasn't my favorite because I don't remember it. But Saturday morning specials, yay! Saturday morning shows. So much fun. When we were little. Now I don't even know what they put on Saturday mornings. I don't even watch any of that now. Look at how cute he is. Oh my goodness. And that's going to make his stitch look lighter. Stitch, stitch, stitch. Now we're going to go back in, and this time when I go in, I'm going to actually use a multi-liner this time because I feel like that will give me a better, darker coverage than the T. Let me just see if that's, yeah, that's thick enough. So I'm just going to go one more time and draw in my stitches. Just because I want them to stick out, and I'm going to go across my line one more time. I just really want them to stand out on mine, but that's entirely up to you, and you don't have to do that. But I mean, it's easy and it's quick, and it makes it look super cool. You guys, if nobody remembers that, it's going to make me feel like it did. You do remember that weird show? It's going to make me like the one time when we were at the retreat and I sang the Rolo song and everyone said I was crazy and laughed at me and said, I never heard of that. And I'm like, oh no, I'm feeling like that again right now. But I'm glad you guys are remembering it some. So I'm not doing all of the lines, just the actual stitch areas. Like it looks like we used thread on them. I want them to stand out a bit. Isn't he cute? Oh my goodness. I like him. I think he looks very Halloweenish in these colors. He's going to look really cute in that little shaker card. So this is the part his stuffings are coming out over here. Okay, so we want to do these on his legs. Here, 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 and here. I'm not going to do the seam, I'm just going to do the stitch. And then I definitely want to do these ones. So they look like little pins. So in this stamp set, there's actually pins. So you could stick your voodoo dolls with pins. But we are not going to do that this time. We might do that another time. But right now, since we're just doing a little Halloween-ish, we're not going to do pins tonight. Now look how cute he looks. The Rolo song. You know the Rolo song? Yay! Yes, I sang it at the retreat, and those people, Jamie thought I was crazy. She's like, I don't know. I've never heard of that. That's not for real. So I looked it up online and I found it. I found a snippet of it, and she still thought I was crazy. So the only other thing that we could put on this that would really make that anything else stand out is the white gel pen, but I want to wait. I don't want to do that just yet because I want to give the black time to dry. Otherwise, it kind of seeps up a little of the black, and then it's not as white and vibrant as I want it to be. So I'm just grabbing some washi tape here. I'll zoom out a little bit. Oh, now you want me to sing it for you? Okay. Rolo, Rolo, to your pal. Chocolate covered caramel. And they would roll their Rolos over to their friends. And I sang it when Jamie said something about Rolo. And I sang it at the retreat. And she was like, what are you singing? And I was like, come on, don't tell me you didn't know. It was a commercial on TV. It really was, I swear. Yeah. It really, really was. So I always wipe my washi tape on my hand before I use it, just so that it's not too sticky and doesn't peel any of my paper off. I know some people don't have a problem with that, but I have had it happen to me, so I always rub it on my hand first, just to make sure it doesn't do anything weird. So there you go, Milligan. Only, see, only for you. I would have only sang that on my live for you. Seriously. I did sing it to Jamie, but she still thought I was nuts. Nuts and bolts. I'm also going to cut out the trick or treat. And we're going to do it all at one time with this cute little diamond press machine I got super cheap. You just stick it in this little plastic thing. Roll it through here. And it cuts it out for you. And then I don't have to get up and go to my Gemini, which, by the way, is on vacation right now. Because when I make all the make and takes, I overheat them. And they're exhausted. And so they're on vacation right now. So I just use the little one. Oh, you did miss it. Yes, I did sing it. I sure did. Are you seriously going to want me to do it again? I did. I'm going to use my tweezers just to pick up the washi tape to make sure it doesn't. Oh, look, he's so cute. Okay. I can't help it. I love all this stuff. I love drawing this stuff. I love crafting with this stuff. I just love it. So the dies work super great. They're made in the USA. do it again, do it again, do it again. They last for a very long time. I can tell you that I have cut our make and takes. I'm actually going to show them to you guys because you're not going to believe this. I've cut this die. You can see it's completely flat. And I have cut this die more than 5,000 times. And it still cuts as good as it did the first time. And it is not bent at all. It is completely flat. Made in the USA. Same thing with my Thought Spot. It's been cut the same amount of times, and they still are just as great as they were when I first got them. So, okay, here we go. Are you ready, Michelle? Rolo, Rolo, to your pal. Chocolate covered caramel. And then you're supposed to roll the Rolos, because they were individually wrapped, to your buddy. And okay, do we want to use this side or do we want to use this side? I kind of like this side. We'll see. We're only going to see this much of it, which look at how awesomely cool that looks. Isn't that super neat? And then our clear one will go over it and our stars will go inside, and then this one will go over top of it, and so it will completely match. It's super awesome. Okay, I'm loving this. I'm excited. And then this has like a little film on it. Let's see if I can get it off. I hate when they put these on and you can't get them off. There we go. But we always have our tweezers. You don't remember it, but it sounded great. Yes, it was a commercial on TV. It was about sharing your Rolos with your pal. Okay, I'm going to sit it on top of my espresso so I don't lose it on my desk, because we have to now glue this all together. So what I thought was I would put my little voodoo doll in here. And honestly, I think I might actually cut that white off. I always like a white outline, but I'm not liking it in here because I want it to be so dark and Halloweenish that I think I'm going to cut the white off this time. I don't usually ever do that, but I think for this particular project, it kind of needs it. And it's a pretty simple one to cut. So I'm just going to fussy cut here real quick and we can talk while we do it. You only remember the Rolo Christmas commercials? Those are the newer ones. This one was when I was young, so it's old. I'm older than I want to admit. In numbers only, though. I don't act like it. Except when I come home from all this travel, and then my husband thinks because I want to sleep 24/7. He might be thinking I'm a little on the old side, and I start feeling a little on the old side, but I bounce back. So all is good. You see this little tail I'm getting while I'm trimming? I really hate that. So I have to cut that off. But see, I think he's going to stand out better without the white around it. So, but I'm not usually a fan of cutting on the line, but in this case, we are going to make an exception. There are always exceptions to all rules, I think. You guys can tell me when I get done if you think it looks better like this or if I made a mistake. See, I hate when them tails get all tied up in your way. If you were to cut out like this and you miss some of it, you can always take like your T marker and you can go around the edges just to make sure you don't leave any white that you didn't want to. I don't know if you guys knew that. I don't usually use this end. I usually use the sketch end just because I don't want to mess up the nib. But you can use that. Now see, doesn't he look so much better trimmed? I think he does. So I'm going to put down, and yes, I am going to use my Barely Art glue because it's the best glue ever. And if you don't have this Barely Art glue, my suggestion is we have it on the website. I would definitely get it. I'm telling you, there's no other glue like it. You can refill it, comes with the tips. It's super awesome. Anything you used to use double-sided sticky tape for, you can pretty much use this. I use it for all my 3D projects and everything. I super love this glue. Not joking. I'm not saying that just because we have it on our site, because if we stop selling it, I'm still going to be using it. I don't even use a tape runner anymore. Hey, Meg! You like it? You like it trimmed too? Good. I agree. Yeah, I think it looks, and it doesn't always, but in this particular situation, I think it really needed it. So I'm pretty sure I'll be buying Cooper a Halloween present because, you know, that's how we grandmas are. Luckily, I have 2 espressos on my desk, so one holds my plastic and the other one I can press with. So I'll be able to put this tag on whatever I get him, and he'll like that little doll, I think. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, so we colored our Voodoo doll, and we're going to put it in here that we did with our Distress Mica Sprays first. That's what we did first. And then we're going to put our sequins from Spooky Stars in there. Probably more along the bottom, so we're going to stick him up a little higher so it doesn't cover him up a whole lot. Oh my goodness, this is so cute. I'm super excited about this. Okay, we're going to put, again, the Barely Art glue because you can use it for just about everything. It looks like I'm using a lot, but I'm really not. The best part about this glue is it doesn't take much. I'm going to go ahead and stick this little guy down because we want to get him in there real good. I'm actually going to use the back of my thing because I've already put the cover on it. And I want to make sure he's super flat because we don't want our sequins to get stuck underneath him. Okay, now is the time we're going to have to add any white gel pen we might want to use. So I think we need a little bit like here, so that the buttons kind of show out, and maybe a little bit like on his little hands, just so they show a little bit highlight on them. And maybe a little bit up here. There we go. Perfect. Okay. You like it? So we have this Spooky Stars in the shop. It's got stars and dots and all kinds of stuff. So when I'm doing this, if I haven't changed it to a new container, I take the sticky part, fold it over and stick it to itself so that it doesn't stick to all the sequins when you pull it out. And then I'm just going to pour it right in here in the bottom. So I have, you know, some stars and stuff. I probably have too much. So I'm going to put a little bit more back in the bag because I don't really need a whole lot, but Cooper will want to shake the heck out of this thing. So we definitely want to get some of that. Some of those stars picked up. Okay, and then I take the back of the little bag and peel off the plastic part and fold it back over. And then that way it stays secure in my little bag for my next use. Then we're going to scoot these down just a little bit so they're kind of below him. Got to get them in there good. And then, I don't really know how well the clear vinyl or the clear acetate sticks with this Barely Art glue. I have not tried it, but we are about to. So when I say I just use my Barely Art glue for everything, I am not kidding. I know, we should. You know, we made the one at the retreat, so it's potentially, it's on the list of things we would love to have. But you're right, these are super great. Okay, so I'm going to press that down. Just give it a chance. It doesn't matter that you can kind of see the glue through because this one goes on top. So you won't see it anyway. And it'll be super duper cute. This looks really good. You totally want it. Oh, good. Thank you, Adele. Great to know. Okay, now we're doing this. We're going to just put glue all around here. Now I could, you know, hang the... Maybe I'll use this bow I have sitting on my desk. It's been sitting here forever and it's purple. Maybe I'll use that on the cover. So then you just lay this on top. We definitely have to make some of these because this is super cute. I'm really a fan. You know, if Jamie was here, she'd be calling dibs on this for the booth. So Barely Art glue gives you a second to move stuff around if it doesn't stick exactly, you know, if you get it in the wrong place or whatever. I'm going to use my espresso to press down. Just give it a second to grip because it allows you to move for a second or two, and then, oh my gosh, look at this little guy. Oh my goodness. This is so super cute. I have a purple bow. Let's see if it looks any good. I think it's not the right color purple, so we're not going to use it this time. Maybe next time. But I think we can put this Trick or Treat on here. I think I just want to put it right up there in the top. So maybe I'll just put the glue right there. And then that way we can just place that down. I really like this. I'm so glad we did this tonight. So these little, until we get some in the shop, this particular one I got from Hobby Lobby. It's called Recollection Shaker Tags, and I've had it for a long time. Probably 2 or 3 years. There were 6 in there, and I'm trying to use them up. Now I have 1 left, but look at how cute he is. He shakes. He's so super. I'm so excited about this. So what do you guys think? Aren't these Voodoo Dolls cute? So if you didn't get the Voodoo Dolls when they came out, yes, they are sold out right now, but we already have them on the way. So they are coming back in stock. So just hang on. We'll get back to them. Yeah, they're sold out. We sold them out fast. And any of these other ones that we have, like the clowns and the spider, they're also very low stock. So if you want them, you should grab them while you can. This is Cute But Creepy. This is What Isn't There, What's Hidden in the Shadows. And then the False Sentiments, which is what we use tonight. And then we use this Voodoo Doll. So tomorrow, I was kind of thinking this week I really wanted to do this clown right here this week. Hi, Harlan. At some point, but I also want to do the spider and possibly another voodoo doll. Oh, wouldn't this voodoo doll and this spider look really cute together in a project? And then this is our stencil. It's, I can't remember the name of it.
Super spiral.
Super spiral. And it's 2-layer. So we're going to use this when we do the spider, and we're going to make a spider web out of these. So you can do one, or you can do this one, or you can do them on top of each other. And we did it with the clown last week, but I'll definitely use it again in a different way. So definitely join me. Again, it's 9:30 Central, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. This is the little guy. Hi, Harlan. This is the little guy we made tonight. He's one of the voodoo dolls. And we made him into a shaker card. So definitely check out the site. It's sweetsentiment.us. No S on the end of sentiment. It's just sweetsentiment.us. Check it out. We showed lots of stuff we used tonight. Also, the sequence came from Sweet Sentiment. Doo-doo-doo. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I had a super good time. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And come join me again Wednesday and Thursday night, 9:30 Central Time, for some other fun projects. You bet, Michelle. Good night.